Good. It looks like everyone can hear me. So it looks like we've got a lot of people from all over the world, which is fantastic. So let me start by welcoming everyone to the first of our webinars. I'm Sebastian Simpson, Business Development Manager here at Visilean. Today, we're going to talk about digital transformation and how easily you can transform your construction sites into digitally operated workspaces. At the end, there will be a Q&A. So if you just hold your questions until the end there. So today we're going to talk about how to move away from traditional methods of construction and moving forward with modern construction techniques. Through this session, you'll recognize the current trends in digitization, solutions to the most critical challenges of RFIs, coordination, design clashes, transparency, and much more. We will then explore Visilean's unique solution built on highly efficient lean principles that is integrated with BIM. I'll provide insights into top-down and bottom-up planning and how that works within our software. In addition to this, you'll be introduced to the latest trends of the industry, like how to digitize your sites and get free from traditional construction methods. So let's start with a quick survey. So who here, hopefully you can all see this, who here has used Visilean before? If you'll just take a quick vote. Okay, good. So there's quite a mix. A lot of people haven't, and some people have, so that's great. So we'll go on to that in a bit more detail about Visilean later. So let's start by quickly telling you briefly about Visilean. As you can see, we've been serving the construction industry since 2016, and we've been growing ever since. Our solution was developed back when BIM and lean integration were literally just theories. Currently, we have a global presence in Scandinavia, the UK and Ireland, Finland, and India. Along with Bargav, we have Martin and Stefan as our operational and technical drivers. We always believe in academic and industry collaboration, where innovation and experiences work in harmony. And on that note, I would just like to say how grateful we are to have Professor Laurie Cascella and Professor Raphael Sachs, two of the brightest minds for lean and BIM, as part of our team. The digital transformation in construction is all about reducing conflicts and improving connectivity, agility, and transparency. The idea is to connect the supply chain digitally, providing visibility into events that require real-time response to support front office and back-end demands. It's a shift from traditional methods of how you operate and deliver value to customers. Basically, it's a cultural change that involves organizations persistently challenging the existing state to experiment and continuously improve for future commitments. So projects are under increasing pressure to drive down operating costs. This translates to increasing automation, including the use of intelligent systems. Many businesses will now need to change the way they think and develop a more scalable production environment, most likely built around a cloud technology, providing real-time data that supports predictive decisions. So let's have another quick question here. So who has problem on their sites at the moment tracking real-time progress of the project? Please be honest. Virtually everyone apart from one person, which is great. That person is obviously doing very well for themselves. So let's see how Visilean can help address some of these issues. So we're at the stage where we cannot keep up with the challenges or issues that unpredictable construction usually offers. We work hard to plan projects carefully, but these plans change due to unforeseen issues, like someone's found a Viking boat in the middle of the site and archaeological teams have to come and check it out. So these delays in communicating these issues can take weeks to months. Even a small delay can end up causing huge delays throughout the project. So we need something that offers flexibility, adaptability, and proactiveness. Something that gives us real-time progress information, performance data, and sends you a notification if there is an issue or delay. There should be a platform that provides an instant response to the problems, rather than knowing about problems once they're too late. Basically, every project team wants a kind of digital nervous system for their projects that can reflect the health of their projects visually. And to save the day, up steps Visilean. We have created a cloud solution that is built on a highly efficient lean process and is integrated with BIM. Here you can see the 4 simple steps to go digital with us. All you need to do is import your data to our system, then install the mobile app on your smartphone or tablet, then let the foreman and workers update the status by pressing a few buttons, and it's literally that simple. Now you have everything available to you visually. You can now proactively control and manage your production along with the performance statistics. The benefits of Visilean are huge. Being able to predict delays or issues can save thousands and millions in some cases. Improving collaboration and communication between teams can save huge amounts of money and time on construction projects. And being able to use data to improve performance can help streamline the construction process and save money in the long run. Now let's go through a few of the product features of Visilean. So let's start with our mobile app. So the mobile app allows users to start, update, and complete their tasks. You can also pause and stop the tasks in case of issues. Additionally, you can send push notifications, photos, or notes to teams regarding any updates or issues in the project. Likewise, you can send photos, plans, or notes or updates from the software to the app. So Visilean offers different views to help construction management. Firstly, and the most popular Gantt view, is therefore visualizing tasks on different timescales. Unlike ordinary Gantts, our advanced Gantt tells the story of the project at a glance, but I'll come on to this a bit more later. Next, we have our interactive dashboard view, giving you all the analytics you will need for your project. And for collaborative planning, Visilean offers our scheduler, where you can do either location-based planning or user-based planning. On top of these, Visilean also offers a 3D view, which is directly linked with the plan. Our 4D lean capabilities allow you to simulate a project, as well as giving you the real-time progress of the build. Our Gantt view is one of the most popular and easy ways of showing activities against time because of its way of seeing the work status through colors. It's basically an answer to getting real-time visibility and the status of multiple tasks. So you can import plans or schedules from any software like Asta, Vico, Synchro, MS Projects, or you can create the plan from scratch in Visilean. Being able to track quantities and progress is such a crucial part of any project. Accordingly, our solution easily handles and projects data of daily progress using the mobile app. The critical path and baseline allow you to easily monitor and track your actual progress with respect to planned work. This approach always keeps you informed about your current situation in a proactive manner. Our Gantt chart tells you the status of your project and not the other way around. So collaborative planning. So let's just ask another quick question here. So who here still uses sticky notes for their collaborative planning and clash detection? Please don't be embarrassed to say yes. Virtually everyone apart from one person. That's great. Few more still to vote, but the majority of people do use it, which is fantastic. Great. So it might be time to start recycling those sticky notes because we've got our own solution in Visilean. So our scheduler view is the heart of Visilean and replaces sticky notes. The scheduler dashboard allows your team to plan collaboratively and create a plan that can be tracked and monitored in real time. There are 2 types of view to visualize your work. First is by users and the second is by locations. You can update the entire plan either by users or locations. From master scheduling to micro scheduling, everything is synchronized on a single platform. And the whole concept aligns the lean workflow with the phase, look ahead, and weekly planning. You can track and manage your list of incomplete tasks directly from the scheduler view. It's as simple as dragging a task into either a location or a subcontractor, and they'll get a notification that that task is theirs and all the notes and history to go along with it. So our dashboard is a unique one-of-a-kind solution for tracking, monitoring, and reviewing your projects in a single platform, no matter where you are in the world. The interactive dashboard allows construction companies to stay on top of their projects. The unique view allows you to quickly analyze the data. The dashboard provides a complete health check for your projects and gives you an overview of stopped, delayed, completed tasks, total project progress, and also the last 4 weeks PPC. The dashboard is interactive, so you can always analyze the project in more depth. To understand things better, the dashboard allows detailed drill downs for things like stoppages, delays, PPC, and loads more. It provides a view for taking informed decisions before things get out of control. So for detailed project analysis, there are lots of different reports we can create. We can create reports for delayed tasks, stop tasks, percentage planned complete, reasons for incomplete work, warnings, and daily progress. It's also possible to customize reports to suit any of your needs. Our daily progress report lets you track the progress and delays, as well as inform owners and management about what's happening on the construction site. All events in the project are logged in the database. Using this logged data, any types of graph, gauges, or dashboards can be built, either within Visilean or to external systems through an API. Using the 3D view, you can import models from almost any BIM software. So we support open standards and our system accepts IFC models. You can track your projects with our integrated BIM viewer that supports version control. It's possible to load different models like structural or MEP or architectural, and you can then link them with your production plans. Linking the model to the plans is so simple. You link activities or tasks to the part of the model and then track the progress visually. You can also filter the model by work packages or by a particular contractor or work started, work complete, unassigned work, and loads more. So it's so easy to review your plans in 3D. In the current view, this can be so easily visualized. So then we go on to 4D. So last question. Who here is using 4D BIM already? Great. So a lot of you are already using it. Some of you aren't. And some of you would like to start using it. So that's great. So a lot of you will understand kind of the topic of what we're going on to next. .4D Lean is basically 3D model plus time, for those that didn't know. So Lean 4D helps everyone that's part of the project, like architects, contractors, and the owners, to visualize the complete process of construction and understand the progress of the project. With the model on the top and the schedule in the bottom, this 4D view allows the construction workers to visualize their assigned work for the upcoming or current weeks or months. Lean 4D is such a powerful tool and helps teams visualize their projects and improves the planning process. So then we get onto our table view. I don't think that name actually does it justice. I think it should be called something cooler, like dynamic reporting or something like that. So our table view is flexible. It's a great tool for meetings and can be exported into CSV format. This effectively replaces Microsoft Excel. So the table view was developed as an answer to spreadsheets. People use our table view during their kind of planning sessions or meetings to review planned versus actual dates, any quantities, any delays, any tasks, any subcontractor works or employees, and basically it's just a great tool for meetings. So these reports are being used all the time in head office or on site in either print or digital format. The table view is dynamic, so you can update tasks directly from the report as you're having discussions during a meeting. These changes will update instantly and get sent around the software straight away. So if you were using Microsoft Excel, you'd have to manually import that data and then send the spreadsheet back around or get people to log in to see it. In our format, the data gets sent around instantly, which is a huge benefit and time saver. So let's get on to a few case studies of people that are using Visilean currently. So the first, I just need to close this and get the video. So Mason using it on a huge project in Dublin at the moment. Cool. So that was Kevin from Mace. Bear with me while I just get back to where we were. So that was quite a big project, and I don't expect everyone to set up such a huge kind of war room. So I'll take you through a couple of case studies where they're using it on a smaller scale. So this is Boxbygg in Sweden. So we've done a few projects with them now. They've completely switched to Visilean in place of the Excel spreadsheets that we're using. So they were using Excel to kind of track progress and update it. And now they use our mobile app to track the progress of their projects. They also use Visilean for all of their look-ahead planning and collaborative planning. So they get the teams in to discuss their work and plan entirely in Visilean from scratch. Using our presentation mode, the project team are now completely up to date with the latest status of their project and can react quickly if any issues happen. And then we've got Leto Construction in Finland. So they use smartboard screens, and they've also do their own kind of drone technology, which we integrated with, and they use us for all of their collaborative and look ahead planning. These are some of the customers that are using Visilean already. So we've been established longer in India and Finland, so a lot of the companies are from around there. Mace, O'Shea and City & Docklands are the first to use it in the UK and Ireland. So we've got some add-on services we can provide. So we've got a team of experts that can turn 2D drawings into 3D BIM if you need. We can integrate with any back office system you may already have in place. And we can offer lean construction and last planner training from industry and academic experts if you need it. So Visilean is actually in a unique position to help deliver an integrated digital design and construction project. It is the only company with international experts who have years of experience and expertise of delivering projects of all sizes and complexities. Based on years of research and implementation experience, the Visilean team can completely change how your projects are delivered. Our methods focus not just on technology and implementation, but closely integrate the process through the lean framework that is proven to efficiently deliver the entire construction lifecycle. So we're a cloud-based solution, so the data and information can be accessed from anywhere, any device. There's no need to download any software onto kind of any hardware or anything like that. We're the only unbroken solution, so we link the head office with the site office with the people on site. There's no need to download any additional extras or bolt-ons. Everything comes in the one package. So that brings us to the end. So customers who use Visilean traditionally save between about 10 and 20% of project costs by improving efficiency. Mace actually saved about 30% on production time by using Visilean, which was huge for them on such a big scale project. We offer loads of support, so we can, for companies that use Visilean, we can send someone over there to do training. We've got a hotline, we do webinars, we've got tutorials. We can literally hold your hand through the whole process if you need. And that brings us to the end. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for joining this webinar. I'm now going to open it up to a Q&A and invite Dr. Bhargav to answer a few of your questions. Thank you. So you can type them in here in the chat box, and then we'll pick a few. Oh.
Hi, I think the first question is, do we have any pilot projects on infrastructure? We have many actually. One of the first projects that Visilean was used on in 2012 was a pilot project in a road construction in England near Bristol. So after that, we have had other projects in the highway sector, also in the rail sector. So yes, we've had infrastructure projects, and actually some of them have been documented case studies. So okay, so we have a question about the fees. Visilean is project-based, the pricing is project-based, so it depends on the size of the project. But typically, the fees vary from about 500 euros or pounds per project per month to, it can go up to maybe, you know, between 3,000 to 5,000, but for very large projects. So for small projects, it's quite reasonable, but as the project scale in size, it of course scales with the effort needed. It's also important to mention here that the price is for unlimited users, so we don't restrict on the number of users. Okay, so the next, The next question is, how do we manage collaboration or collaborative planning on site with the various subcontractors? That's a very excellent question, actually. So we have a collaborative planning board within Visilean. It's our scheduler, and we believe in supporting the last planner process. So the board basically lets you visualize the team during the collaborative planning session, all the tasks which are being planned, and then they can actually discuss the sequence. They can discuss, for example, what constraints they are facing. They can do constraints analysis, and they can manage this process within Visilean. And once they're happy, they agree to the plan, and then of course that plan goes into the mobile apps, and they actually then track the plan using those mobile apps. So the collaborative planning board within Visilean, which is we call it the scheduler, it has 3 or 4 planning and tracking durations. So basically we have phase planning, which is about 3 months, the look ahead planning, which is 3 weeks, weekly planning, which is 1 week, and then of course the current week for tracking. So that supports collaborative planning within Visilean.
We're going to go through every question here, so just be patient. If you've asked a question, we will get to you.
All right. Time curve to implement Visilean. That's again an interesting question. We've had some projects which we have switched on within a week because they're quite small projects, and actually people were already familiar with lean processes. In other cases where we had to hold their hands in terms of teaching them collaborative planning and so on, it could take about 2 to 4 weeks. So the Swedish project, it took about 4 weeks for them to go live with Visilean. So it varies between 1 to 4 weeks, but the actual setup actually takes a few hours, not more than that. What is the look ahead and rerun re-baseline period when planning and controlling the progress using Visilean? Again, an excellent question. The look ahead is up to you. You can change the look ahead duration in the program to suit your needs. Typical by default, Visilean gives you a 3-week look ahead. And when you say rerun or re-baseline period, again, that's up to you. I mean, normally we have weekly sessions, but we don't recommend changing your baseline, of course, every week. So I would say you can basically look at this on monthly basis. But in terms of the look ahead, that would be about 3 to 6 weeks, depending on the size of the project.
Okay, so we've got one here. What determines the project size? So that's based on the value of the project. So if it costs 10 million to build, we'll base the price of Visilean on that, and vice versa if it goes up or down.
Yeah, and Marcus, we have Martin in Finland, and you can get in touch with us. And yes, I mean, in fact, we have had pilot projects with SRV before, and what Seb said, actually, the size of the project typically is kind of the cost, kind of the value of the project. So yeah.
Do we have a sales office in Brazil? Not yet, but we will.
No, wait. Actually, we do have a reseller in Brazil. Yes, Stefania, actually, you can get in touch with us by email, and we can forward you the details of our reseller who are taking care of implementation and support in Brazil. In fact, we have 2 in Brazil who we are collaborating with. So two resellers in Brazil. So yeah. No, okay. So Vikas is asking, can Revit model directly connect with Visilean, and what about changes in the model? So the answer to the first question is not directly, but you have to export to IFCs, which is quite sophisticated nowadays. So you can export your model to IFC, and you can then import that into Visilean. And about changes in the model, absolutely. We have a version control system. So you can import as many versions of the model as you want, and you can even compare between the models. You can visually see what's been added, modified, and so on. So that's absolutely fine. Okay, any other? How can I integrate the WVS of my BIM model with my weekly plan in Visilean? Again, actually, this is a fantastic question. So you would actually, ideally think about this before the model is designed. But we recommend, of course, sort of synchronizing your level of detail or level of development in your BIM model with your sort of planning resolution. So, for example, if you want to go down to the daily or weekly level of resolution of planning, then the model should also support that, meaning that the objects in the model should be broken into sort of that level of detail. If you want, we can help you with that. But the linking actually is quite intuitive, so you can actually identify what's been linked at a higher level, and then you can select the subcomponents and then link them to your sort of weekly level tasks within Visilean. So that's quite fine. But I would recommend actually thinking about your model development strategy sort of a little bit beforehand. And
Which we can also help with.
Yeah, exactly. If you need, we can actually help with that too.
Looks like last question.
All right, Eduardo has a question. Is the previous implementation of Last Planner a prerequisite? No, Eduardo, absolutely not. We have had customers. Our most recent customer in India, they did not have any prior knowledge of Last Planner, but they are still actually successfully using the system because we kind of consider this as an integrated part of the kind of the software, and then we teach them how to use the software. So we just had a training session with them on the site to kind of show them how the main principles of the Last Planner system work and why they are important, and then the site people are kind of running with that. So most cases people come to us who have actually previous Last Planner experience, but we have had case studies with people who are not using Last Planner and they are still successfully using the system. So, but that's a good question. Yeah.
Oh, there is one more one, sorry.
One more. All right. Stefania is asking, I see that infrastructure, we still have issues using IFC, interoperability isn't that good. That's true. So, and yes, I want to help retailing my model to my weekly. Yeah, we can help. You can get in touch with us. We actually, I wrote a paper on this, so this goes back to my research time in 2013 after our first case study in infrastructure. You are right. I mean, we have issues with infra sort of IFC exports and also in terms of granularity. And those were some of the issues we highlighted in that paper, especially breaking the model into smaller pieces. So our recommendation was to kind of think about these issues beforehand, and there is this BIM execution plan that you can put in place before you start the project to kind of tackle these issues. But yeah, but that's a very relevant question for this. Yeah. All right. Kian is asking, I think Navis Works rule-based sets is a good way to link WVS with Ping. Yes, yes. We are moving in that direction. So we now are working with Maze to develop a location-based sort of hierarchy within the model as well as the plan, and inserting some kind of codes into the plan so that we can then link them similar to Navis or other systems. Absolutely. And we are also kind of going in that direction very soon.
So Stuart asked, but it wasn't a question, can Visilean be used with IWP, installation works packaging?
Oh, right. Yeah, Stuart, I think we need to discuss that in more detail. But yes, I mean, it can be used. So we of course, we need to know more about. I should be very honest. I mean, I don't know much about the method, but once we understand how the work packaging works, which of course we are going to interact with you in next couple of weeks, so we can find out more about that. But once we do, yes, I mean, we can look at that, how we can integrate that within Visilean. But just to kind of mention here, and like what Seb mentioned, Visilean interacts with majority of the planning software like Primavera or MSP and others, and we can import work packages into Visilean. And some customers have also explored tech planning, for example, with Visilean. So, I mean, that's feasible.
That looks like it. Unless there's no more questions, I think Bhargav and I will keep the chat room open. If anyone, oh, there's one. Are there any? Oh, it's just gone. 1 second. Are there any published? Oh, by the way, how does Visilean manage the interface between different stakeholders with respect to authorities' change plans?
By the way, how does Visilean manage interface with different stakeholders, authorities to change plan? Yeah, okay. So Visilean has some kind of a granularity within the process. So, for example, there are different layers of access or kind of authority within the system. So if you are, for example, a project administrator or a project manager, then you have the authority to potentially change the plan at kind of the whole project level. But if you are a subcontractor or a team leader, then you can only change a subset which has been assigned to you and underneath. And you can see, and you can of course interact with other activities, so you can see their impacts on your plan, and subsequently your impact of your activities on other members, so all the handovers and so on. But you cannot change the task for other members. So there is a granularity there.
Okay. William has asked, are there any published case studies of the benefits of Visilean and the transition from Excel?
Yes, there have been. Actually, the first case study was published already in 2012, 2013. If you Google it, I mean, of course, we can send it to you if you contact us by email. So that case study outlined how Visilean was implemented on this infrastructure project on UK sort of highways network. Then there have been case studies in Finland, for example. Then published case studies in Sweden, and now we will within a month or so publish the case study based on this project in Dublin. It's a data center project in Dublin. So there have been multiple case studies published. And of course, sure, the transition from Excel to Visilean, that was covered in the paper last year. So that was case study in Sweden, and that was covered last year in this IGLC. So we can forward them to you if you want. What is ERM? Is it enterprise resource management or planning? Is that what you're saying? Then yes, it's quite possible. You can link Visilean to external systems. So we have
Enterprise
API.
resource management.
Yes, enterprise resource management. That's ERP or ERM. Yes. Yeah, we have APIs, so we can help you integrate. For example, if you want to integrate with your materials management or something like that, then sure, that's possible.
That is it, if I'm not mistaken, or someone's typing.
All right.
So we're going to keep the chat room open if anyone wants to keep asking questions or chat to myself and Bhargav. But I just want to thank everyone who's came and participated today. And we're going to be doing a lot more webinars with different guest speakers every time and different topics. So hopefully you'll join us for a few of the next ones. We'll drop you an email just to say thank you to everyone for joining us, and we'll send you the recording. But thanks again, everyone.
Yes, I would also like to thank everybody who joined us today. This was actually in one of the first webinars in a series of webinars, like Sebastian mentioned. And every time we would like to come up with new topics, and if you can suggest some topics that you would like us to cover, so we'll be happy to hear from you. And again, any feedback you want to send our way, please feel free if you think we can in some way.
Good question. It doesn't integrate with barcodes yet, but we do have APIs, so that is there is potential there. Bhargav, am I right in saying that?
Yes, we're actually looking into RFID and barcode integration. And Stefan, yeah, yes, I mean, that's great actually. If you're using LPS, then of course, that's exactly where we can help automating parts of that. So, and I know that in Brazil, you are at the forefront of lean implementation. I've seen on some case studies when I was there in during the IGLC, so that's fantastic. Yeah.
Have you ever used Visilean to manage back office tasks?
Yes, actually, that's again quite possible. So you can link parts of your project, kind of it can be integrated not just back office but also let's say design. So you can invite designers to join the project. So that's been done. And Kian, you're asking how do you quantify the prerequisites if they are mature to start a look ahead task? No, it's a kind of a 1 or 0 type of a relationship. So if you commit the task and 70% of constraints are removed, no, I mean it has to be 100%. But if the 70% are removed and you think that you are ready to start, then there is a possibility to force start a task. So you don't, I mean, there is a workaround, but it will be recorded that, okay, you started the task without all the resources. So that's possible.
Do you have any risk analysis modules?
Not currently, no. It doesn't, we don't really have that at the moment. So, no.
We are looking to add kind of a health and safety aspect to our table view so that any sort of task that might be a bit dangerous or need any sort of PPE could be highlighted during a meeting so they know in advance. like probability analysis.
Yeah. Stefania, that's actually coming very soon. We had some research done in that area, so there is a maturity and probability analysis, but that will be part of our sort of a kind of AI platform. Yes, they are R&D ideas, absolutely. So they will come soon. We have a kind of an R&D project in that area, kind of scheduled for next 6 to 12 months. But yes, I mean, if you actually read some of Raphael's work on maturity index, flow index, probability index, those sort of things, so yes, absolutely. Yeah, Kian. So you're right. The maturity flows and those, yes, we did not know. You mentioned this maturity and flow index. We did incorporate that, but actually we still will not, in terms of execution, Kian, we will show, for example, we will use the indexes to show the probability, but when it comes to execution, we still follow the lean principle that it has to be either 1 or 0. Otherwise, I mean, when you say a task is 95% complete, actually in field terms, it really doesn't make much sense, because in lean we say you don't want these ugly tail ends, and that's the reason why we go with either 0 or 1. So yes, okay, you agree. But that was kind of the idea.
We'll have one more question and then we're going to close the session. If anyone has any other questions, they can drop me an email. We can get back to you. You learned a lot from this webinar. Well, thank you. That was the aim. So I'm glad you learned. Good. Please do.
Thanks, Kian.
I think that's, Stefania, your point is about kind of changing mentality as well a little bit.
Yes. They do. I fully agree, and it's a lot about culture. But we can discuss that more at some point. But yes, very well.
Okay, we're going to close up the session now. I just want to say thank you to everyone again. And if you've got any more questions, please feel free to get in touch.
Yes. Thank you from my side too. Thank you very much for attending the session.